going on, everybody? How y'all doing on this Thursday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are almost all out of doing these wrestling live streams, as again, it's been a busy 3 weeks for us wrestling fans. For those of you who do follow the WWE and NXT and AEW. Of course, technically, we've had 4 pay-per-views in the last 3 weeks. TakeOver 30, SummerSlam, Payback, and now, All Out. All Out. So, we're going to talk about this episode of All Out. So, this is going to take place this coming Saturday, September 5th, from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Probably about 15% capacity, about 800 fans now, for what I'm hearing. Which, again, fine by me. They seem to be doing a good job so far keeping people safe, spreading people out, and again, the shows are just great and on point right now. Again, I'm really enjoying the build that we got for this show for sure. I actually, even though I watched the highlights for my reviews when I was catching up, I actually did not get to watch last year's All Out. I was going to, but then unfortunately other things came up and I didn't have access to it at the time. But now, of course, a bunch of friends and I share a Bleacher Report account now. So we get to watch, we basically just split the costs of the shows and just watch them all at the same time. So, it's cool with me, and yeah, so I think this should be another really good show. We have a lot of tag matches, of course, as a lot of these pay-per-views so far with AEW have been heavily involving tag matches. And I gotta say, they work. I do kind of wish it would tone down a little bit and have some more, some singles matches in there. I mean, we have, besides the championship matches, of course, because this show we got, let me see here, excluding the Battle Royale, we got 1, 2, I'm sorry, we only have 3 tag matches. I thought we had a lot of tag matches. We only have 3, so not as many as I expected, but still, 3 is a lot. Or 3 ain't enough, man. 95 for Big E's former theme music. Of course, I gotta throw out there. Yeah, I still think, of course, AEW, of course, is almost its first full year with having Dynamite. Again, they've done a really good job of building up stars and whatnot. Been just a great show to watch overall, of course. A breath of fresh air, the TV14 product that we're getting. A good alternative to the WWE, not a carbon copy, of course. We've seen stars, of course, from the WWE come to AEW and to, show more of their creative freedom. Likes of Cody Rhodes, Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, recently Brody Lee, FTR, even Jake Hager, not too bad, and a few others as well, of course. We now have Tay Conti, Taynara Conti, of course, now in the AEW as well. Several names, of course, as well. And again, a lot of stars have definitely been built. Going into this show, we have a lot of fresh names being shuffled around, I feel like, as well. So, without further ado, let's roll into this review, this preview, and talk about the 9 matches on this card. So, the match that's on the buy-in, which is the pay-per-view, even though I feel like it should be that 21-man casino battle royale. Again, these battle royales I'm starting to get kind of sick of, to be honest. They're happening at all pay-per-views, and they're always for the number 1 contendership, and it's always the same people in the matches, so definitely kind of souring on them a little bit. But the match is on the buy-in, to me, should be on the main card, because I think it's been a very great built match. It is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Big Swole in a one-on-one match on the buy-in. Now, again, what I've really liked about the build for this match, Dr. Britt Baker, up until this past week, has not been able to get involved physically. She, though, has been a great mouthpiece, and it shows that even when someone is out and injured or can only cut promos, she somehow still makes it work. She has definitely been able to maintain her credibility despite being out since May with a knee injury. Of course, the plan was always for her to be back in time for All Out. So, we're here, and I thought they did a great job building this up, and of course, just helping elevate the women's division, which again I still feel it's gotten better, but the women's division to me still does not feel super strong yet in AEW. Of course, I still feel Dr. Britt Baker, despite not being the champion, is probably the strongest name I feel on that women's roster. And again, she's done a good job building up this and her and Big Swole. And they're going to have a match again on the buy-in. Again, I think this should be on the main card. Switching this out and the Casino Battle Royale, I think would be a great idea, in my opinion. As far as I think who wins this match that goes, I am back and forth, because I'd like to see Big Swole get her comeuppance on Britt Baker, who, of course, she just couldn't put her hands on for months. But then, I also feel like Britt could use this win as well. I think the plan was probably for her to win at Double or Nothing. To kind of keep, her, he's probably, obviously, one of the bigger names in the company, not just, with the women's division, but in general. Why not give her, a big win on pay-per-view and build her up strong? It's nothing to do with her original match with Chris Statlander. Of course, Chris Statlander also tore her ACL, and now she's out much longer than Britt Baker, unfortunately. So, I was back and forth with this, but I'm thinking, you know what? I feel like this is a feud that can continue on. Which is why I think, since it's her first match back in the ring, give this to Britt. Britt is kind of like, Big Swole, I'm not saying underestimates Britt a little bit, but, obviously is more used to, just the verbal confrontation really taking place in this feud. And Britt, not being in the ring for a while, sneaks something out of her pocket that we all didn't expect or something like that. So I'm going to pick Britt to win this match. And just up the stakes a little bit, and keep the feud going on Dynamite for a little while longer, I would say. So, I'll go with Britt. So Britt wins the buy-in match. It should be a pretty good match as well for Britt and Big Swole. Moving on now to the main card. Again, this was definitely, me trying to predict it in order of how the matches were happening. The first match, probably the match I'm the least excited about, and honestly, a match that should be on the buy-in, is the 21-man Casino Battle Royale. As of now, I do not know who's all in this. All the people I know off the top of my head, of course, right here. Darby Allin, Taz's team of Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, Lance Archer, I believe Trent and Chuck Taylor are best friends, Ray Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., Eddie Kingston from the Lucha Bros, Shawn Spears, can't think of who else. Has 10 of 21 so far. So, I'm sure we're going to get some type of, surprise entrance. Probably Joey Janelle and Sonny Kiss are going to get in there as well. Maybe get at 12. Probably a few surprise entrants as well. Maybe someone debuting. I have this feeling they're probably going to give it to a surprise entrant. Again, I don't have a concrete answer to, I think, who will win this Battle Royale, because, again, I just don't really care about it, to be honest. The winner, of course, gets a championship opportunity against whoever wins the world title match in the main event. If I had a choice, I would have rather replaced this with Darby Allin and Brian Cage. I thought they should have had that match on this card instead. But I'm going to say it's either going to be, because of how they're building them up with this new stable with the Lucha Bros and Eddie Kingston, I would say maybe I say either anybody from the Lucha Bros, or my second pick would be a surprise entrance. Again, who that is, I have no idea. But I'm going to stick with that. Either someone from the Lucha Bros stable, or Eddie Kingston, or a surprise entrant. That's my pick. Again, I don't really care much for this Battle Royale. I can't really think of anybody else. But that's my pick for the match to open the show as well. The next match should be a solid tag match between the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. How did this match come about? Still not too sure. It was just a random match. It didn't really have any build added to the card. Obviously, again, the Young Bucks are definitely shaken up for sure after Hangman Adam Page interfered and costed them their opportunity for the tag titles in the Gauntlet match last week. Well, of course, thank goodness he stopped us from seeing FTR and the Young Bucks, which we're probably going to get at Full Gear, or if that's what they're going to call the November pay-per-view. Again, just saying that there's probably, that match has to happen. And, of course, getting the titles involved, I don't mind as well, because, of course, spoiler alert for my prediction for the AEW World Tag Title match later on. But as far as this match goes, again, I'm thinking Luchasaurus, of course, too, as well. Well, Jurassic Express. And to be honest, giving them a win here wouldn't hurt. Again, I love the Young Bucks, but they can take a loss here, I think. So I'll give the win here to Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy Jack Perry over the Young Bucks. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if there maybe was some type of involvement in the match from, the Hangman Adam Page that kind of, throws off the Young Bucks or something. Maybe, who knows? To protect them a little bit, but again, Luchasaurus, they use a victory here over the Young Bucks, I think. Again, we'll see the Young Bucks again get back on track and take on FTR at Full Gear. And again, that's going to be a must-see match for me, even though they're already having a must-see match on this show as well. But, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be good. So I got Jurassic Express over the Young Bucks for this tag match. Next up, this is going to be a good one. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with this. We've got Matt Hardy, or Matthew Hardy, taking on the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, in a Broken Rules match. I'm not sure if this is going to be Extreme Rules, or if it's going to be Last Man Standing, or whatever it was. But the stipulation here is if Matt Hardy loses, then he must leave AEW, which I doubt's happening. Usually for most pay-per-views, I've been saying I think Sammy Guevara needs this win. I think Sammy needs this win. He feels like he's taking a lot of losses. This though, Sammy's had Matt's number, throughout most of this, just about all of this feud. He busted him up with the chair. They had the brawl. They had the tables match last week. I actually really enjoyed it. Again, I don't normally enjoy tables matches. I think the finishes can be very cheap, but they add a little more rules to make it not look as dull, I think. So as far as these two having a little bit of a hardcore match, which this is going to be hardcore, I wouldn't say it would be Moxley and Omega lights out at all hardcore from Full Gear last year, but I still think this is going to be a very, very brutal, very physical, gut-wrenching match, I think, between these two, as they both know how to get hardcore and get extreme. Just don't get all rated R like Xavier Woods. Jeez, I still love that segment. Anyways, but yeah, Matt's my pick here to win. I don't see him leaving AEW. I think Sammy's going to come out looking like a bigger god, Spanish god as well. Again, I do think they have been giving him some more victories than they were at first, at the beginning of the year. So again, I'll take it. Sammy Guevara is going to drop to Matt Riddle in the Broken Rules match. That again, it's going to be a pretty good match to watch. This next match I think could be pretty good as well. 8-man tag match. It's going to be the Dark Orders. Mr. Brody Lee, the TNT champion now. Colt Cabana, which he's still randomly in there to kind of drop the whole story of him joining in. He's just there now and doesn't really know else to him, I think. Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. Taking on the team of the Nightmare Naturals, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, Scorpio Sky from SCU, and formerly Zack Ryder, Mr. Matt Cardona. It used to be a solid tag match. This is one match I'm not super duper excited about. But I mean, the Dark Order definitely is starting to interest me a little bit more. Since Brody Lee won the TNT Championship, they had that great beat down on the Nightmare Family, all on Brandy Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, and of course Arn Anderson himself. They definitely gained a lot of momentum from that, so I'll give them credit for that. Rather than that, again, this is basically just to put over the Dark Order, I think. I know a lot of people don't want to see Matt Cardona get the loss in his first pay-per-view match at AEW, but I think in order to keep the momentum going, I think the Dark Order should get the win right here over them. I know a lot of people are upset that John Silver is not in the match. A lot of people have definitely been growing on him. So we'll see. Maybe he'll substitute him out for somebody else. Who knows? But I think the Dark Order is going to come away with the win here, and going to continue their reign of terror as they definitely continue to improve in AEW. And of course, Mr. Brody Lee as well as the TNT champion. So we got that, and then we had this next match, the trilogy to Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. Mimosa Mayhem match. Basically, the only ways you win this match is by pinfall, submission, or throwing your opponent into the Mimosa Mayhem. I know, especially this is WWE, this would definitely be a super duper corny match, I think. They definitely would make this not fun to watch at all, just something stupid. It's like why are we watching this type of insulting? Such as the Santina Morel and Vicky Guerrero hog pen match. Oh god, I saw the highlights for that and I just wanted to get sick. But with Chris Jericho, him being AEW, having a lot more creative freedom, and Orange Cassidy, who's easily become a main event stud in this feud he's had with Chris Jericho. Again, Jericho has put it over brilliantly and made him look like make him look like $1 million, I think. I think this is gonna be entertaining. This is gonna be funny. I think it's gonna definitely be a match people are not going to expect to be anything spectacular, but I think it's going to be more about it's going to be more of like a comedy segment if anything, but a very good one, I think. Obviously, I think we're going to get some type of involvement from the Inner Circle in this match, but I think somehow we're going to see Cassidy get the win, maybe with like a fluke roll up, and then maybe all members of the Inner Circle get thrown into the Mimosa Mayhem one by one, probably by help from the Best Friends. And I've heard rumors also Mike Tyson. I'm still interested to see if they actually do a match with Chris Jericho and Mike Tyson. And again, normally I'm not a big fan of celebrity matches, but with Mike Tyson and Chris Jericho together, we could get some money out of that, I gotta say. So yeah, I think this is they're gonna be able to pull this off and make it something good, something that people are gonna be entertained by. I wouldn't say it's gonna be anything of like a classic or remember forever, but I think it's gonna work. It's going to work out very well for both these two with this Mimosa Mayhem match. So we got that, and then next match, honestly, is definitely a lot of people's pick for match of the night. I think this is going to be an amazing match of the year candidate caliber match. For the AEW World Tag Team Championships, we've got the Elites. Be the Elite. Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, taking on FTRs, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, formerly Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, the Revival from WWE. Of course, now with Tully Blanchard in their corner, they are on a pretty darn good tear. Again, one of the best tag teams in the world for sure. And again, there's that simple, philosophy with simple psychology that they use that's just so effective that you remember seeing from NXT. And also the motto of no flips, just fists. Again, this team doesn't have to do much to make themselves look, amazing. And taking on, two of the best single stars in the world, like Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega, they're going to look like even more of $1 million. If the Elite, if Page and Omega was able to put on a classic against the Young Bucks, you bet your money that they're going to put on a freaking classic in the match of the candidate here with FTR. I think the story of this match is going to be, besides, of course, I think FTR is going to win the tag titles. Hangman and Omega are continuing going to form the cracks in this match, as they always start teasing it. They've teased a Kenny Omega heel turn, but also teased other things going on as Hangman Adam Page again has been drinking a lot, and he also costed the Young Bucks their title shot for this match as well. So we have that interesting thing. So I think what's going to happen is the FTR is going to win, and I think we're going to get Kenny Omega officially turning heel on Hangman and Adam Page. They've been teasing it for a while. I know people are starting to think it could be Page doing it because of what he did to the Young Bucks, but I think it's going to be Kenny. And we're gonna be seeing a heel Kenny Omega just wreck shit in the shop on Dynamite go forward. So, but again, still our choice for matches of the night for sure. And again, a match of the year candidate. Both a match of the year candidate, not candidate. Candidate, as both these teams are two of the best teams in the world, and that, my friend, is undisputed. Just kidding. Well, Undisputed Era versus the Young Bucks would actually be a pretty darn good match, and the rest of the Elite, but not going to happen unless they leave WWE, so who knows. We have our women's championship match, Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa. I like how they've definitely brought in some, again, as I continue to say, the women's division on AEW, to me, is still kind of weak. It doesn't have, I mean, we got, Dr. Britt Baker. We got Big Swole being built up. Nyla Rose, a former champion. We haven't seen Rios since she dropped the title. I don't know if she's with the company anymore or not. Nyla Rose, Hikaru Shida, Chris Statler, which goes back. Even Penelope Ford, I thought, had a great match on Dynamite. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think a Fire Fest it was. She had a great match for the for the women's championship that actually was like out of left field for me. But you like also how Hikaru Shida is kind of like, introducing these new stars, like whether they're indie darlings, like even like PWG, Thunder Rosa's in this match. A good way just to bring some other talent, from around the world to kind of catch other people's attentions. And I feel like that's the whole idea behind this match as well. Now, of course, a lot of people I'm hearing who are fans of like New Japan or PWG, or whatever it is called. I don't really watch it anyways. Want to definitely see Thunder Rosa get signed. I don't think she could get signed, but I don't think there's going to be any title changes here. As I think Hikaru Shida is going to retain the women's championship. But definitely some sort of respect is going to be earned for Thunder Rosa in this match. I feel for this crowd to basically want to plead for Tony Khan to sign her to a contract, even though she is working for another promotion. But again, she can be an independent contractor and do whatever she wants. But I think Hikaru Shida is going to retain the women's championship. And who's she going to drop it to? Maybe Britt eventually. Who the heck knows? Or Big Swole? I'm not sure. So there's that match. And then finally, we have the main event for the AEW World Championship. It's going to be Jon Moxley, the champion, taking on MJF. Again, I've been calling this match for months. Ever since Moxley won the world title at Revolution off of Chris Jericho. That MJF was going to be the one to face Moxley at All Out. And I think they've done a brilliant job building this match up. Again, you keep forgetting that MJF's only 24. And Moxley, 35? So there's like a 9-year gap between these two guys. But again, MJF, is definitely one of the best heels in the business. I can definitely see if he was in WWE, them screwing him up, though, as a heel. They make him up to be like this big, coward who just nobody can take seriously. This MJF, again, with the charisma he has, the microphone skills, and he doesn't have too much to offer inside the ring as a wrestler, but still he does have doesn't need much to make him feel like a big star. And I think it's best for him to capitalize on it, and he gets the win over here. Again, I've loved Moxley as champion. I wouldn't mind seeing him be a champion longer. But I feel when the iron is hot, you gotta strike. And right now, that's the time, I think, for MJF, who is campaigning again for a better leader for AEW. And he firmly believes that leader is him, Mr. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. So he's probably going to sneak some type of fluke victory in. That's not going to make him look too weak, but also he's going to look like a scrap heap cheater and whatnot. And he'll win the AEW World Championship and probably have a really good long reign with it. Again, they've given Jericho and Moxley a good amount of time with that title, but I think MJF, is anybody to have a longer title reign? Definitely would be him. So, with that being said, guys, those are my picks for this pay-per-view. Again, I have Britt Baker over Big Swole. either a surprise entrant or someone from the Lucha Bros stable is going to be win the 21-man Casino Battle Royale. Um, the Jurassic Express will beat the Young Bucks. Matt Hardy will beat Sammy Guevara in the Broken Rules match. Dark Order over the Natural Nightmares, Matt Cardona and Scorpio Sky. We've got Orange Cassidy defeating Chris Jericho. Of course, we have some interference from the Inner Circle, and Mike Tyson will get involved and throw them into the Mimosa Mayhem. I'm sorry. FTR wins the tag titles, and Kenny Omega turns heel. Hikaru Shida retains the Women's World Championship, and Jon Moxley defeats MJF for the AEW World Championship. And with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for my live preview predictions for All Out. Again, I'm tired, but we got through this week. I'll do SmackDown review tomorrow. Maybe I'll get my Clash of Champions predictions done as well. Be sure to join me live, though, on Saturday at the show, both on my channel and on Daniel Geis' channel as well, as we will do a live review of AEW All Out. And, of course, I'll do one as well on this channel, too. So, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your picks for AEW Dynamite? What will be match of the night? What are you excited for most about this show? What about you you're not excited for? Make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBoy93. And with that, guys, I'm checking out. I'll see you all later. See you tomorrow night for my SmackDown review. Have a great night, everybody. Peace out, everybody.